Fun always comes first for us, Leslie explained. Of course, we want to stay grounded in the DNA that makes a Black Ops game unique when it comes to core gameplay, but we also like to break the rules if it's going to maximize fun for players.
Maximize fun, dude. That just sounds so like corporate, man. I'm telling you. It's like they're trying to tell you what fun is and is not. Like, you will like this and this is fun because we say it's fun. But it's like you might have a core audience of gamers that like your game that don't think it's fun, so therefore it is not fun.
A future game within the COD franchise, because according to Miles, fun always comes first, and it's always about the fun that the fans can have within their game. Well, the problem I have with this is what he's describing is nothing but shop bundles, essentially. Fun always comes first. We want fans to always have...
Yeah, and then fun, exactly. Like, fun is not inherently or solely tied to the cosmetic skins. Fun should be something that is like a part of the game mechanics and how the game plays. It's one factor, yes, but if the only thing you're referring to is like these cosmetics, which of course cost money and they want to try to drive up sales, but if that's the only thing you're referring to and it's coming at the expense of like fun gameplay, it's like, bro, I would rather just take the fun gameplay with like a trash looking game as opposed to a really cosmetically diverse game that has no substance to it. So
have fun. Well, how come the stuff that we earn in game is never as crazy or as fun, quote unquote, as what we see in the shop? I'm Prestige Master, right? I finished the whole Season 1 Battle Pass as well. Therefore, I have every earnable thing you can get in the game. I did all the zombies Easter eggs. I've done everything I can. I've earned everything that is earnable within Black Ops 6 in terms of like a player cosmetic, and some of them are good, like the Noct Raider here, for example. I think that looks pretty good, and going back to what he said, it sticks to that core DNA of the Black Ops universe that makes it kind of feel unique. Like, I get that.
Yeah, I think he's saying like he can earn stuff in game and it's cool, but it's not anything compared to the stuff that you can buy. Like, obviously that's, of course they're going to try to incentivize you to buy stuff by making the really cool stuff, you know, have a price to it. But it's just like, dude, if you remember back in the day, Call of Duty 4, I always bring it up, right? You had Red Tiger and you had Blue Tiger, and you had a gold variation of one of the guns per each class, like a gold AK-47, etc., and then like a gold submachine gun and so on and so forth. Like, the way it was done then, it just made the skins feel like they had so much more substance. Like, if you had Red Tiger, you had to get that by earning it in the game by getting like a certain amount of headshots, I believe it was what it was. Same thing with Blue Tiger. So when you had those skins, it's because there's not this wide variety of skins in the game. It's a select few. It gives like a sense of purpose and meaning to those select few skins. If you make them difficult to earn, then it really means something. I think that's the thing that's lacking these days also, with all the like just too much variety. I think too much variety is also killing the game, in my opinion, to where like nothing feels meaningful. And then on top of that, the skins are just like whack.
It's multiplayer and it's a zombie, but you know, it fits the Black Ops universe. The Teddy is a Liar weapon blueprint is fantastic. The STG blueprint is freaking good. The My Name Is skin, that's Mason, of course, that all looks fine. Like, it doesn't look too crazy or too outlandish. It does fit within like the realm of possibility within the Black Ops universe. Even the Prestige Master skin, Sitting Bull Reborn, although you guys have heard of pay to win. Well, we're talking about play to lose, because the skin is nearly always glowing for me. It's not only like a new...
Yeah, so there's a whole layer of cosmetics and how they affect the game, right? So although it might not be said that this is a pay to win or pay to lose skin, right? It has no impact on your damage or something like that, assuming, you know, skill-based damage isn't a thing. There is a thing to be said about cosmetics giving an edge to certain players, or like detracting from your own experience. Like in this case, if he's always glowing on your screen, it might be annoying and it might hurt your visibility. There could be other ones that like, I heard there's some skins that are like reducing visual recoil. So no, it's not impacting your actual recoil, but it's impacting like the visual element to it, which is essentially a buff.
Nuketown problem. It's an every map problem, essentially. If you run this skin, chances are you're going to be glowing as you're running around the map, which gives you away a lot more, and basically you're playing to lose by using this skin. You even look at the battle pass, like the final reward. You get some tattooed thighs here and some booty shorts, but it's nothing really crazy. And on the normal battle pass itself, not the Black Cell version, the only really decent rewards, in my opinion, and of course that's subjective, but the blueprint for the SOG, which has that blood effect, that looks pretty good, and then the Krieg, which has that wave effect, that looks really cool and pairs very well with Dark.
So these look pretty cool. I don't know how you earn these in the game, if these are purchasable, if you earn them, whatever, but like stuff like this, if you have a limited amount of these cool skins and then you make them very difficult to earn, like in game, it adds so much more value to them, as opposed to if you litter the game with a bunch of, you know, cosmetics that are you can just pay to get them, right? Now, I'm not knocking on that because, of course, these companies want to make money at the end of the day. So they're going to put, like, you know, paid products in the game. So I get that. That's fine. But there is just that element of it detracts from the total value. Like, can you imagine if the game came out and then this was the last skin that you get for getting, like, I don't know, like 1,000 headshots or something, and it's the only one that looks like this for its class? Like, that would put so much more value on this when you spawn into the game and you see somebody that has this gun. It's much cooler when you see somebody with this, when it's not like the common standard thing that's just like littered throughout the game.
Matters. So yeah, those things are pretty good on the battle pass, but by and large we don't really get anything crazy by playing the game or with the battle pass or anything like that. If you want some crazy stuff, you're going to need to go in the shop. If we head into the shop here, we have a cell shaded girl for $20.
So it's like this is the stuff that's getting kind of crazy to me. Like, yes, it is funny, it's cutesy, whatever, I don't have a problem with those things like in a vacuum, but it does start to pull the overall vibe and feel of the game away from what it used to be. So I don't know, it's a conscious decision that they made for the sake of quote unquote fun, right? At the expense of realism and groundedness.
We have Raccoon Man for $28, Shark Boy for $24, Vampire They
Like, can you imagine seeing this in like Call of Duty 4, Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2? Like, I cannot imagine like any of these things in those games.
With visual effects for $24, Parasite Man for $24, and then finally the Iron Crusader for $20. This brings up an entire topic of conversation for me because this skin lines up very well with the new Citadel Zombies map, which is set in a castle, involves ancient knights, the new wonder weapons are swords, there's a giant paladin warrior boss fight, there's dragon decor.
And another thing about all of this variety of skins, at least in my opinion, is it makes the game so much more annoying to interact with when, like, okay, back in Call of Duty 4, you'd have two teams. You know, like, your team looks one type of way, like the Marines, and then you got the terrorists, right? So it's very obvious who the enemy is, and it's very obvious who your ally is. But when there's so many skins in the game like this, I feel like it adds so much variety that it's like so hard to tell like who's on my team and who's not on my team.
This knight skin right here would tie in very well to Citadel as a reward for, say, completing the Easter egg after round 50 or something difficult like that. In the interview, we're going to re-quote it one more time. Miles Leslie said that, quote, fun always comes first for us, but of course we want to stay grounded in the DNA that makes a Black Ops game unique when it comes to core gameplay, but we also like to break the rules if it's going to maximize fun for players.
Good God, bro. Maximize fun. It just sounds like maximize profits at all cost. Maximize fun. You will enjoy this kind of thing.
May I ask, is necessarily fun about spending $20 for a skin that is obviously themed around the new Zombies map? If you want to talk about fun, the community finds it fun to be able to show off their in-game accomplishments.
Yep.
I ask you, dear viewer,
yes,
how many times in your experience so far with Black Ops 6 have you seen people running around with the Liberty Falls Easter egg calling card?
Yeah, it's like, once again, what we said before, it has more value in the game if it's more rare and it's an achievement that you have to unlock. Like, if you can just buy the skin and like everybody and their mother owns the skin, then it's not cool. Even if it looks cosmetically pleasing, it's just not cool. Like, it's a lot cooler if somebody earns something that like maybe only the top 1% of players in the game have earned, right? Whatever that may be. Like, I would rather see an average looking skin that maybe it's like once you get like 10,000 headshots, you unlock this average looking skin. I would put more value on that average looking skin than like the coolest possible cosmetic skin in the game if everybody can just buy it for like $10.
Maybe even the Terminus Easter egg calling card. Even in multiplayer, they're still rocking that calling card. Or how about the Liberty Falls Easter egg in under 30 minutes calling card, or the new Citadel Easter egg calling card? Players find it fun.
There's no special feeling to owning any of these, in my opinion. Like, it would be cool if like this one right here, I don't know, like, I don't even know what if like it was associated to something in game that could help show off your personality. So maybe you're like a stealthy player who likes to do knifing only. Maybe if they had like some sort of cosmetic for that sort of thing to signify that you as a stealthy player who likes to go around knifing people have earned some sort of achievement that nobody else has earned because they're not playing that sort of play style. That is where you would have a cosmetic tied to something like that, which would give it value, as opposed to all of this like random stuff.
and to show off their accomplishments and their achievements. Heck, even I use the Dark Matter Indeed calling card and the Prestige Master level 70 emblem. Of course I'm going to rock that calling card because I had to go through and not only do all the Darkspine challenges, but then do all the Dark Matter challenges on everything, including the baseball bat and the launchers and the marksman rifles and all that stuff, right? Of course I'm going to rock that calling card. It makes me look like a huge fucking nerd. And that is the point. Fans like grinding the game and want to be rewarded for their commitment.
Yeah, you want to be rewarded for your commitment. Like, guys, I cannot stress to you, if you weren't around for Call of Duty 4, and those of you who were around will know what I'm talking about. Like, when you saw a level 10 Prestige in your lobby with a gold cross, and they had the red Tiger camos, or the gold AK-47, like, that meant something, because that is a nerd who is playing the game nonstop and getting to that level based off of their achievements. It just had so much more value as opposed to, like, you spawn into a game like this. Everybody's running around with, like, raccoon skins, Nicki Minaj skins. Their weapons are all glowing, and it's just kind of like the de facto standard. So it just takes away the value.
That is fun. So why is the reward for beating the Citadel Easter egg this skin right here? And I'm not here to say that the skin is bad or anything like that.
It just looks common. It looks like a common skin compared to what you could buy.
But it goes back to what I was talking about earlier. That quote, the idea of staying grounded in the DNA that makes a Black Ops game unique, that only applies to those of us who are not paying extra money and instead grind the game a ton, which makes their player retention numbers look good. I can honestly say that I've seen exactly 0 people running around with the Iron Crusader skin, but if it were tied to a fun, there's that buzzword again, challenge that requires a bit of commitment and skill, I guarantee you would see a lot more of them in multiplayer and zombies, because fans will be...
NEROS gets it, dude. He understands, bro. I'm telling you, what he's saying is spot on. Like, you need to tie these things to key events in the game that make the player feel proud of, like, what they're doing. So it could be different play styles, different accomplishments, different challenges, whatever it may be. Because you have different players that like to express themselves in the game. Like, maybe someone's a sniper and that's all they like to do. They want to flex some sort of sniper achievement. Maybe you got somebody who likes playing objective. Maybe you like someone who's playing assault rifle AR, holding down the anchor points. Like, whatever it may be, right? You want to reward that kind of play style.
Proud of their achievement, and they'd want to stand out and show off what they did. The same thing is true of the Maya skin that you get for doing the Terminus Easter egg, right? You see that skin all the time in multiplayer because people earned it, they like it, they want to show it off. And going full circle here, I just hate this narrative that they want to bend the rules to maximize fun. You're not doing that. You're maximizing profits.
Yeah, right? You're bending the rules to maximize profits. That's what I was trying to say earlier, but it just sounds like we are maximizing fun so we can get the most player retention and profits possible. You will enjoy this.
By making the shop bundles way crazier than the earnable rewards that we have in the game. Just come out and say it like it is. You want the craziest stuff in the game to be behind a paywall that costs half of what the game retails for.
Yeah, I mean, if they're on it, I mean, even that, if they're just honest with it, players might not care as much. Like, even if it is what it is and you got to make money off the skins, okay, we get it. But at least be honest and say, hey, look, guys, like, to keep this game running, we need to keep making money. It's a game as a service, essentially. Like, we got to make money, so we're releasing these skins. I would be so much more open to that than the way they worded it before.
Come out and say it. If you would also like to maximize fun, how about giving players the ability to turn off shop bundles if they don't want to see them? I've been meaning to talk about this for a while, but I see you guys in the comments, and I see it on social media as well. There are millions, I'm estimating here, but millions and millions of players who do not want green dragons shooting rainbows at them.
Yes, dude, thank you. Like, that was the thing I was saying about turning off cosmetics, because it would just make the game feel so much more consistent. Like, if you're trying to play and, like, have a good time in the game regardless of all the skin crap, you want to know who's on your team and who's on the enemy team. And all of this variety stuff just, once again, kills the vibe of the game if you don't like that kind of stuff. But it also makes it so much more difficult to like interact in the game, because there's so many things going on there. Like, is this guy on my team or is this guy not on my team?
Within their multiplayer experience. So why not let them turn that stuff off? Why not give you the option to get rid of shop bundles on your end, the client side, because we already know you can do that. There's an option, if you guys don't know, to turn off gore effects within Black Ops 6.
Yeah, so the way this would work from like a technical perspective is, once again, the server would dictate what skin the player has, and then it would like go and fetch that for you on your client, and it would display that or not. Like, it would display, like, it would render that in your 3D world. So you could just have a setting on the client that disables that even though, the player has that skin equipped and it should normally be present on everybody's, client little world that they got going on, we can just disable it, and then you can have a fallback to a default skin. That's totally doable.
And if you do that, those weapon blueprints that like turn you into a bunch of goo or shoot like giant lights at you and everything, it turns all of that off essentially on your end. So they could very easily make it so if somebody's using a shot bundle, that would be turned off on your end via an option, and you would just be playing normal Call of Duty again without rainbows and monsters and unicorns and all this stuff running around on Vorkuta, for example. You know what I mean? So they could easily do that, but I don't think they're going to, because
I think once again, the quote that does sum it up in my opinion is really that Incredibles quote. If everybody is super, nobody's super. So if everybody is running around the lobby with these crazy cosmetics, like nothing feels like impactful. So it's always better, in my opinion, to establish like a baseline of what the game looks like from its like vanilla standpoint, and then sprinkle in a little bit of like variety or some like of cool factor, and associate those like cool skins or cosmetics to things that are actually meaningful in the game. So then when you get into a game as like a new player, you'll be running around seeing a bunch of vanilla looking 3D models or whatever. But then when you see that one guy that has like the crown on his head or something, and then that signifies something important because he stands out. But if you have like a bunch of like leprechauns and dragons and Nicki Minaj, etc., running around, it's like, well, nothing really feels special. Nothing feels super, so to speak.
Players, the poor people who paid $30 to look like a raccoon. What about them? Who cares, man? They still have the skin appear for them on their screen and the screens of anyone else who decided to keep the paid skins option on. So what's it matter? Do you really want the satisfaction of people knowing that you paid $30 to look like a raccoon?
I mean, yeah, that's probably actually the unfortunate reality is it's like the flexing aspect. Like people, like, why do people want to have these cosmetics? One, yeah, there's a factor of it looks good on my end and I like the way it looks and feels. Makes me feel some type of way when I'm playing with it. But the other aspect is you want to flex to other people that you have the skin. So if you allowed for the turning off or the disabling of the skin, yeah, technically that would ruin their experience a little bit. But I would say, who cares? Yeah, I would agree. Just, it would be better to have the option to turn that stuff off, because most people probably wouldn't turn it off. And yeah, you would have no idea from your perspective as like a person who owns the skin.
It doesn't seem to benefit really anybody to not have this feature in the game. There should absolutely be an option to turn off shop bundles within Black Ops 6 so you don't have to see them on your end, but I doubt Activision will ever fully commit to that. But ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it for this video here today. Again, I just read that article today, and the idea of, oh, it's for fun, we care about the fun that our community's having, our game is full of skill-based matchmaking and terrible servers and desync, and we talk about these fun skins, we're actually just talking about the shop, not the stuff you can earn in-game. Like, I hate that whole narrative, man. Like, they're straight up like manipulative when they come out with that kind of stuff. So I wanted to make a video on it. There you guys have it. I hope.
Well, yeah, guys, I mean, go check out his full video. NEROS is always pretty grounded and chill, it seems. So good video. And yeah, I agree. Like saying that you're prioritizing fun, but then like having all of this stuff in the game, like potentially skill-based matchmaking, skill-based damage. Well, there is skill-based matchmaking. Let's say potentially skill-based damage. Et cetera, et cetera. And then like there's so many other issues that are actually having an impact on the overall fun of the game. You're avoiding those to only focus on cosmetic skins that like nobody gives a crap about. It's a little bit out of touch. But anyways, guys, that's it for me. Until next time.
Hope you enjoy.